Good morning. Welcome to the class of FYUGP program. Today we will deal with the paper Principles of Social Work. Principles are the fundamental truth or laws or guiding principles by which we proceed from one situation to another. Social work principles are the guiding statement that come from experience and research. The objective of social work principles can be fulfilled by the framework of principles. The social worker has to follow these principles while doing the social work practice. Now I am going to explain the fundamental principles of social work. First one, principles of individualization. This principle is a fundamental for effective social work practice. This principle signifies the uniqueness and inherent worth of each individual. The social worker should view the problems of each client as a specific and help him the client accordingly. By these principles, every person is different, every client is different, their nature depends on their life circumstances. We have to treat each client person's problem with care accordingly with their differences. The next principle is principles of meaningful relationship. In social work, a good relationship between the social worker and the client is necessary to discharge the service. The quality of relationship is the cornerstone of helping social work. It is the medium through which the client is enabled. This professional relationship should be a mutual process of shared responsibilities. According to these principles, a relationship between the client and the social worker is one of the most effective method of practicing social work. The third principle is principles of self-determination. Social responsibility, emotional growth and personality development are possible only when individuals exercise their freedom of choice and decision. So, in social work practice, the worker should facilitate the client to take the decision for themselves. This principle implies that a client has the freedom to take his own decision. The worker does not impose his decision on the client, but helping him to suggesting the ways to solve the problems. The next principle is principles of acceptance. This principle suggests that the social worker should accept the client as he is with all his limitations or problems. Acceptance is the essential for professional relationship. By this principle, the worker accepts the client as a person, not his behavior. The social worker must be able to understand whatever kind of person is my client and also understand whatever the situation. The next principle is principles of communication. Communication is the major tool which the worker helps the client. So the social worker should create an environment in which the client will feel comfortable giving expression to his feeling. According to this principle, communication is the most important effective area of doing social work practice. The social worker must ability to understand the verbal and non-verbal communication of the client. Next principle is principles of social functioning. Through the social work practice, the client should be helped to discharge his social function effectively. Social worker should help the client to learn the social roles to find the tune his behavior. Through the social work practice, a worker should be learned to understand the nature of the client and also learn to understand the social roles. Next principle is principles of confidentiality. Confidentiality is essential for the diagnosis and treatment in the social work. It helps in the development of truth, which is fundamental through the social work practice and professional relationship. So, social workers should maintain secrecy of confidential information to respect and safeguard the client personality. According to this principle, the confidentiality is the cornerstone of practicing social worker. It is an ethical obligation of the social worker. He will not say to anyone else what has been clarified. These are the main 7 principles of social work practice. Thank you.